Okay, I'm gonna give you a problem. Let's look at some indeterminate forms. What do you reckon infinity? Hold on, let me get my font size right. What do you reckon infinity over 0 is? I mean, I don't know. Well, let's use properties of algebra and other mathematical properties to figure this out. So we know that anything over 0 is infinity. So clearly this is infinity. 0 over 0. Need I say anything? I press Windows and not Alt. Infinity over infinity. Anything over infinity is 1. 0 times infinity. Do I need to say anything? Infinity minus infinity. 0, 0 to the power of 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. 1 to the power of infinity. 1 times itself. Infinity times 1. Infinity to the power of 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. But there's one I've left off this list, and for a good reason. That is infinity times, I was pressing Windows again, infinity. And for this, I've invented something new, because I was in the mood for it. And for this, we know the value is greater than infinity. So enter stage right, or canvas right, Gollum, noted by g of x or sg of x. And I quote, Gollum is an unsigned higher value to any equation. Example, if n cannot exceed 10 or g of x is g of 10, therefore 5 plus 6 is Gollum. Because x is 10 in this case, and when g or sg is 10, that means that anything exceeding 10 is a Gollum, or an unsigned higher value. G of x or sg of x means what is the largest value we need to compute. Therefore, anything larger than g of x is interpreted as Gollum. Gollum, from Latin, is rooster. I don't know, I felt like Gollum was like a cool name. By default, g of infinity is the value. Therefore, anything equating over, or presumably equating over infinity, or let me completely rephrase it. Therefore, anything equating over, or presumably equating over infinity, is recognized as Gollum, because the number inside g of x is the largest number we can need to compute. If we either don't have anything larger, or there's no need to make anything larger, then what do? We interpret it as Gollum. That was let's talk about dividing by 0 for a minute. Anything over 0 is infinity. 1 over 0? I meant infinity. Infinity over 0? Infinity. Anything over 0 is infinity. Because if we look at limits in calculus, then as x approaches 0, the answer approaches infinity. Because say we have 1 divided by 2. That's half. 1 divided by 1. That's 1. 1 divided by a half is 2. 1 divided by a tenth is 10. A millionth, a million. So the only thing left to know is that as the dividend gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, the the quotient gets larger and larger and larger and larger. Therefore, we must assume it's infinity, right? Infinity plus infinity, of course. That's larger than infinity, and we either don't have a symbol for larger than infinity, or we have no use for anything larger than infinity. Like g of 10 means that there could be things larger than 10, or we either haven't made them or have no use for them. That's why 5 plus 6 equals a Gollum. So infinity plus infinity equals Gollum. You do see where I'm going with this, right? Hopefully someone can get this. Someone help me. Thank you for watching.